What is cell referencing and why is it important? Cell referencing uses a cell address and it is important when creating formulas in Excel. It is particularly important when copying and pasting formulas. Knowing how to use cell referencing properly will speed up data entry in Excel. So how would cell referencing speed up data entry in Excel? Stay tuned and I will show you how. Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to talk about the different types of cell referencing in Excel and how it will speed up data entry. There are three types of cell referencing in Excel: relative, absolute, and mixed. So let's go through it one by one. But first, let's look at what a cell address is because this is what we're going to use in cell referencing. A cell address refers to the column and row where the cell is located. For example, cell A1 is located in column A and row 1. Cell B5 is located in column B and row 5. We can also see the cell address in the name box here. Tip number 1. If you type in a cell address in this name box and press enter, it will select that cell. Now on to the first type of cell referencing, the relative referencing. With the relative referencing, when we enter a formula and then we copy and paste it to another cell, the movement is relative to the location of the data referenced in the formula copied. So for our example, in column A we have a list of 5 different fruits, and in column B we have a list of 5 different vegetables. We want a copy of this list in here, but instead of doing the regular copy and paste, let's use a formula to illustrate how relative referencing works. To enter a formula, we key in the equal sign, then we click on the cell that contains the data we want. For this one, we want the data from cell A4 because that is the first data in the list. So we click on cell A4, then press Ctrl Enter. Tip number 2. Pressing the Control key and the Enter key at the same time sets the formula in place and selects the current cell. Had we pressed the Enter key only, the cell selection would have moved one cell down. If we copy this formula, our point of reference is cell A4, which is the column title for the different kinds of fruits. Let's copy the formula we just entered by pressing Ctrl C, and we would like to paste the formula one cell down. So remember that our point of reference in the formula we're copying is this cell, A4. If we paste the formula one cell down, what we should expect to see is apple because we're moving one cell down from our point of reference. Let's paste it and there it is. We can see in the formula that it is now referencing cell A5, which is where apple is. We can also press F2 to see the formula in the cell. And we can also see that the cell referenced in the formula is highlighted. Press the Escape key from the keyboard to exit edit mode. Let's paste the formula one cell to the right. Here we got beans, because the data one cell down in the next column from our reference point are beans. Let's paste the formula in columns F and G from row 4 until row 9 by pressing Ctrl V. And here we now have a copy of the list. Tip number 3. From a keyboard, pressing the Ctrl key and the C key at the same time are the shortcut keys for copy. And pressing the Ctrl key and the V key at the same time are the shortcut keys for paste. So that is relative referencing. Now let's look at the second type of referencing, the absolute referencing. With absolute referencing, when we enter a formula and then we copy and paste it to another cell, there is no movement in the location of the data referenced in the formula copied. The cell referenced in the formula will always be the same when the formula is copied into another cell. So how is absolute referencing done? The $ sign is used to apply absolute referencing. For example, we want to reference cell A4, which is the column title for the different kinds of fruits, and this time we will use absolute referencing. So let's key in the equal sign to enter a formula. Then we click on cell A4. To apply absolute referencing, we can either manually key in the dollar signs or press F4 from the keyboard. Tip number 4. From a keyboard, pressing the F4 key will add dollar signs to the cell address referenced in the formula, and it is a toggle key, meaning you can press it to add dollar signs and press it again to drop a dollar sign, change the position of the dollar sign, or remove dollar signs. Notice that as we press F4, a dollar sign is added before the column and before the row in the cell address. Let's press Ctrl Enter to set the formula in place and select the current cell. Here we got fruits. Let's copy the formula by pressing Ctrl C from the keyboard, and let's paste it to the cell directly below it by pressing Ctrl V from the keyboard. We still got fruits. That is because we tell it not to move by adding the dollar signs to both the column and the row in the cell address. We can see here the formula copied still refers to cell A4. We can paste the formula one cell to the right and still get fruits. The cell referenced in the formula will always be the same when formula is copied into another cell. So that is absolute referencing. And now let's look at the third type of cell referencing, the mixed referencing. Mixed referencing is a combination of relative referencing and absolute referencing, hence the name. We can either put a dollar sign before the column in a cell address referenced in a formula to indicate that the column will not move when the formula is copied, or we can put a dollar sign before the row number in a cell address referenced in a formula to indicate that the row will not move when the formula is copied. So for example, we want to reference cell A4, which is the column title for the different kinds of fruits. This time though, we will use mixed referencing. So let's key in the equal sign to enter a formula, then we click on cell A4. To apply mixed referencing, we can either manually key in a dollar sign before the row number or press F4 from the keyboard twice. If we recall, F4 is a toggle key. When we press it for the first time, it adds absolute referencing. We press it again and it will drop a dollar sign to make it mixed referencing. What we want here is for the row to not move when the formula is copied into another cell. We press Ctrl Enter to set the formula in place and select the current cell. Let's copy the formula by pressing Ctrl C from the keyboard and then paste it one cell down. Notice that what we got is still fruits. That is because we told Excel that the row should not move as we copy the formula into another cell. And even though the column can move relatively in this mixed referencing, the formula copied was pasted in the same column, therefore there is no change in the result. Let's paste the formula one cell to the right by pressing Ctrl V from the keyboard. Here we got vegetables. That is because we told Excel that the row should not move when the formula is copied. So it is still taking the data in row 4, but this time we moved one column to the right, so that is why the result changed to vegetables. And that is the last of the 3 types of cell referencing in Excel. Putting it all together, let's look at how cell referencing can speed up our data entry. For example, we received our sales data in units for our vegetable products with the corresponding price per pound for the first quarter presented like this. The different vegetable products are in the first column. In the next column are the corresponding prices per pound. And in the 3 following columns are the sales in units for each month within the first quarter. What we want to know is the sales in dollars for each vegetable product by month within the first quarter. So we could enter a formula for the first vegetable product sales in each month and then copy it down into the other rows, which I don't recommend doing. Or we apply the different types of cell referencing we learned, which I recommend doing. So for this example, we know that we would like to be able to enter a formula in one cell, copy it, and be able to apply the formula by pasting it into other cells, down and across. To do this, number one, we know that the price per pound column should not move as we paste copied formula across. And as we paste copied formula into the cells below, we know that the price per pound row should move. So for the price per pound, we will be using mixed referencing. Number two, we know that the sales in units column should move as we paste copied formulas across. And as we paste copied formula into the cells below, we know that the sales in units row should also move. So for the sales in units, we will be using relative referencing. We press Ctrl Enter to set the formula in place and select the current cell. We press Ctrl C to copy the formula, then select the cells below and across where we want to paste the formulas, and then press Ctrl V to paste. We do a quick check to see if the right data is being picked up. Let's look at March sales in dollars for the last vegetable product listed. We press F2 from our keyboard, and here we can see that it picked up the correct sales in units and the correct price per unit. So that is how we could apply a combination of mixed and relative referencing to speed up data entry in Excel. And for the final one, let's look at how we could apply a combination of absolute referencing and relative referencing. So for this example, what we want to know is the tax amount for each vegetable product sold. The tax rate is 10%. And we would like to be able to enter a formula in one cell, copy it, and be able to apply the formula by pasting it into the other cells below. To do this, number one, we know that the tax rate column and row should not move as we paste copied formula below. So for the tax rate, we will be using absolute referencing. Number two, we know that we are using only one column of data, and that is the total sales in dollars column. Because we're not pasting copied formulas across, the column cell referencing could either be relative or mixed. And as we paste copied formula into the cells below, we know that the total sales in dollars row should move. So for the total sales in dollars, we will be using relative referencing. We press Ctrl Enter to set the formula in place and select the current cell. We press Ctrl C to copy the formula, then select the cells below where we want to paste the formula, and then press Ctrl V to paste. We do a quick check to see if the right data is being picked up. Let's look at the tax amount for the last vegetable product listed. We press F2 from our keyboard, and here we can see that it picked up the correct total sales in dollars and the correct tax rate. And that is how we could apply a combination of absolute and relative referencing to speed up data entry in Excel. In this video, we looked at the three different types of Excel referencing, and we looked at how to use cell referencing to speed up data entry in Excel. I really hope you liked this video. Feel free to share your tips in the comments section. I'd love your suggestions because we're always learning something. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. Bye.